Okay, now let's start with our first bash script. Now the first thing, let's go using the CD. Let's go to desktop. Now let's use touch command to create name of the file as.sh. Okay, now name it whatever you want, but make sure it is .sh or end with .sh. Now you can see in the desktop, here it is. Okay, now we will use vim or nano, whatever you prefer, as.sh. Okay, now the first thing, we will put hashtag here, shift 3, and then the exclamation mark, shift 1, /bin/bash. This to indicate that this file is a bash script. Okay, now we will use the echo command and put in double quotation, hello there. Just the same as programming language. By the way, by typing shift here, shift 3 or the hashtag, we can put this is our first bash script. By the way, this is a comment in the bash script. Okay, so press escape button, shift W and Q, so to write and quit. Now, if I type ls command -l for the s.sh file to see its permission, you can see it lack the executable permission. So for that, I will use the chmod command +x and put s.sh. Okay, now clear the screen, ls-l to sh. As you can see, now it is executable. Okay, now /s.sh. Now dot here means that we are running this file on the current directory, which is the desktop, /s.sh. Okay, press enter. You can see, yeah, it will print our hello there, our text. Now this is just the beginning. In the next lectures, we will start handling more practical stuff and with examples. Okay, now let's use vim editor s.sh that we created previously. Now here, by typing dd, the D letter I mean, you can see that it will remove a line. Now press I or O, depends on what you want. I will press I, so to insert mode as we learned previously. Okay, now here let's declare our first variable. So var underscore, or let's name it first underscore var. Okay, equal, and then let's put inside it in double quotation, this is our first variable. Okay, now how to print its value? By typing the name of the variable, as simple as that. But before it, let's put the $sign. I think we already saw that, but here using a bash script. Now here in this bash script, the first variable, this is, or I have made a mistake, a typo here, no problem. This is our first variable, Okay, now let's run s.sh again, and you can see, yeah, it will print this is our first variable. Cool. Okay, now this is a string variable. Now if I want, let's open s.sh again. Now what if I want to create another variable? Let's name it second underscore var, and inside it I want to put a command, the ls. Now if I type ls like that, and if I echo the first variable, and by the way, I can put the inside a double quotation like that, and put this is the first variable like this, and put the variable, and echo again the same thing, this is the second variable. Okay, and put the second underscore var. All right, now by the way, this to print as text and to put the value of the first variable, and this is again for the second variable. But the second variable, the ls here, it will not be running as a command, it will be as a text or string. So if I run s.sh, you can see this is the first variable, this is our first variable, which is the value of the variable, and as you can see the second value is ls, which is as a string. Now how to run a command and put its value inside a variable? We will use the back quotation or back single quotation, which is the tilde mark like this. Okay, so this means that run ls command, and the value or the output of this command will be stored inside this second variable. By the way, not just the single back quotation, we can use the $, open brackets, and close the bracket like this. Either way, it will work. Okay, now let's run again. Now let's see. You can see, yeah, it is working, because ls, writing ls in the path of the bash variable, it will show us s.sh, okay, which means what we want. Okay, by the way, we can put more options like ls-la, for example. Let's see what will show us. So let's run again the s.sh. Yeah, you can see this is the second variable, total whatever, and this is the value of the ls-la command. Okay, also we can use arguments inside the bash script. Now you can see this image. Don't worry, I will provide you with it. By the way, you can get it online. This is now no secret. Anyway, so the variable name inside the bash script can be 0. As you can see, $0. This is the name of the bash script. From 1 to 9, this is the first arguments to the bash script. $, with hashtag number of arguments passed to the bash script. With at here or at sign, all arguments passed to the bash scripts. Here the exit status, I think we already saw this. And the $2 or double $, we already saw this. This is the process ID of the current script or the current bash. Remember when we run this on the bash, the user, here the variable user, this is the username of the user running the script, which is in our case, which will be Kali. Host name, the host name of the machine. Random, this will provide a random number. And line number, this is, or no, this is the current line number in the script. Okay, okay, I will not try all of these. This is exercise for you to try all of these. For now, we will use this, just the variables or the arguments. Okay, so for example, let's open s.sh again. Here, let's remove the first and the second variable. Okay, let's leave just this echo. Now let's delete this. Okay, for example, this is whatever. Now $1 instead of this, and $2. Okay, so which means this is the first argument and this is the second argument. Now let's save and quick. So if I run s.sh without providing any argument, you can see that this is and empty. As you can see, empty values. But if I provide it like this, first, then second, you can see that, yeah, this is first and second. Okay, cool. Now an exercise for you. I want you to try out all of those variables and the arguments or whatever. Okay, also we can use the reading user input by using the read command. Okay, so open the s.sh again. Now here above that, let's put read, and the read here, put the name of the variable. So var, read var, and print out this var variable. Okay, so let's remove these actually. So read the var, it will ask us to provide a value or a string value for var, and then we will print it out. Okay, so let's save that. Let's run again s.sh, press enter. You can see that, yeah, it will ask us to provide value. So value, for example, and the value have been provided, has been printed out. Okay, cool. Now there is another way or better way. So actually, instead of writing this to be fancy, so let's use please provide a value, for example, and press that like that. And if I run it again, you can see please provide a value. So just, for example, or whatever, and this is just. Okay, okay, cool. And actually this is a very handy and will be used with a lot of stuff. Okay, like please provide your username, your password, or please provide the value you want to try out, or the name of the file, or whatever. Okay, cool. Okay, now it's time to talk about the if-else statement in the bash script. Now it is the same as programming language. So let's s.sh. So let's remove everything. Okay, now here the syntax is like this: if, then space, open squared brackets, make sure that there are two spaces, so there are space here and there are space here, then put the argument. So for example, if 1, then put the operator like dash equal, and then 2. Okay, so as you can see, there is a space here and there is a space here. All right, because other than that it will show us problem. Now then, this is the syntax. The first argument true, else echo false. Then we will close it by using the fi statement. Okay, so it is like this. If 1 minus equal 2, or as a number, because as you can see this is used with numbers. For string we will use equal equal, or exclamation mark equal, or which means not equal, or here we can use the dash ne, okay, which means not equal. Okay, don't worry, I will provide a complete list with the common test command operators, no worries. Okay, now this example will show us obviously false because it is not equal. So let's run the s.sh. You can see that it will start showing us false. All right, now let's have a symbol, another symbol example. Now here, before we enter anything, so here let's echo in double quotation, please enter a value, and then read value, okay, to this variable. Now if this variable or this value, this variable equal to, then echo true, else echo false. Okay, we can also true, but slash like this, or comma, the value is underscore value. Got me? The same thing here, to just to see what is the value. The value is, and or not underscore, I mean $sign, sorry about this, the $sign, and yeah, let's save. Okay, now let's run s.sh. Now you can see that, yeah, I made a typo, sorry, which is echo, not like this. So yeah, my bad. Yeah, s.sh. Now it will ask for please enter a value. I forget the e here, whatever. The value will be 2. So you can see true, yeah, the value is 2. Okay, now if I run it again, if I type 5 for example, it will give us false, the value is 5, which means it is not working. Okay, now this is the same thing, this is for numbers. Now for strings we will use please enter a value. Let's change this, actually let's fix it. Okay, I will not use dash equal, I will use equal and then put a variable here. So let's name it apple for example, then the value is whatever, the value is whatever. Okay, so if this time run it, okay, please enter a value. If I type orange, you can see false, the value is orange. But if I type apple like this, yeah, the value is apple, which is true. This is for the string. The same thing for the string not equal. So instead of equal, just put it not equal, shift exclamation mark like that. As you can see, the bash terminal here on Kali Linux is very handy and sophisticated. It is becoming sophisticated. You can see that it converted that to something like not equal, so which is something very fancy. By the way, we can also use the if then whatever, if elif, so which is elif like that, and then again put then put whatever. By the way, you need to put the provider. So if for example value equal orange, let's make sure it is not case sensitive, because it is case sensitive. Make sure there is a space here, because otherwise it will show us error. Okay, make sure there is a space here, and actually I want to modify this to be equal, not equal. Okay, so if the value is apple, true, elif, so else and if together. If the value is orange also, let's print it is a true. By the way, the tab here is not needed, it's not required, but because it is just more readable actually and tidy, so it's better to have it here. So true, the value is $value, else the value is not either orange or apple. Okay, so let's save that. Let's run s.sh. The orange, you can see true, it is orange. The apple, true, it is apple. For example, grape, false, the value is grape, which is as we expected. Now again, this is just a simple example. We can write more sophisticated examples and use cases, but for now this is the essentials. Don't worry, we will write sophisticated bash scripts moving forward with this course. Okay, now it's time to talk about the loops in bash script. Now let's start with the for loop. So vim s.sh that we created previously, now here. So the syntax is like that: for the variable, which is I, in, and then put the sequence. So for example, I will use the braces like that, and I will put in double quotation 1 and comma 2 or rest and 3. Okay, now do put the command you want. For example, print I, then done. Okay, so it is like that: for I in this sequence, done, do done, and inside it echo the I, so it will print 1, 2, 3. Now let's run the s.sh. You can see that it is 1, 2, 3. All right, cool. Now we can have a sequence and read from a file. So for example, let's touch list.txt, okay, and let's vim list.txt, and inside it let's put first, 1 or 2, third, values, blah blah blah. Okay, whatever. Now here inside the s.sh, this time I want to print this file. But how did we learn to put and run a command inside the bash script? Yes, you are right, using either the back quotation like that or the $sign with brackets. Let's put the back quotation, back single quotation, and let's put cat list.txt, and then let's echo I. So let's run s.sh. Yeah, you can see that it will print first, 2, third, the values of the file. Also, we can have practical usage, like we want to print a range of IP addresses. So for, let's put this from 1 double dots and then put 10. Okay, now here echo 129.168.0. the I, and I it will be 1, 2, 3 until we reach 10. Okay, so let's save and run to see what the values. You can see that 1, 2, 3, 4 until we reach 10. Okay, so this is a practical example to generate IPs, for example. Okay, now this is for the for. Now we have another syntax for the loops, which is the while loops. Okay, just as the programming languages. By the way, it is the same. So let's delete this. The syntax is like that: while, then put inside a brackets. Make sure to follow as we learned from the if else. There is a spaces between here. Okay, now here we can put the while thing. Okay, first let's put a counter. This is just an example. Equal 1, or let's put that. Okay, now the $sign counter is -lt, which means less than 10, for example, and make sure there is a spaces. Then we will put do, and after we finish, done. And inside the while loop, we want to echo, for example, the counter. Okay, and after we print the counter, we can use this command, which is putting 2 double brackets, counter plus plus, like that. So this will increase the counter. Let's run it, and you can see, yeah, it will start showing 1, 2, 3 until we reach 9, and 10 is not included. To include it, actually, it's not less than, is less or equal. So LE. Okay, and save it. Now let's run again. Yeah, you can see 1, 2 until we reach 10. Okay. Okay, it's time to talk about the functions in bash script. Now, in a nutshell, it is just like the functions in the programming languages. So, for example, fun1, and open brackets like that, then open the braces and close it. Now then inside echo, and then for example this is inside fun1. Okay, now how to call it? Just put the name of the function, as simple as that. Okay, so like that. Now let's run s.sh. You can see this is inside fun1. So simple, so easy. Also, we can return a value from the function just like the regular functions. So